Okay, hello. This is part 3 of building a Gutenberg block. In the first part we set up a development environment. Second part we set up a WordPress plugin. And now we're going to actually get to the building of a block. So you should have a WordPress environment running and have a plugins directory that you can edit and work in. I'm going to be working in the local sites, plugins, and we're going to start with the QR code block. And so I'm going to open this directory, and all the work today we're going to do is inside of the JavaScript file. So we already have this all queued and set up, and let's dive in. And kind of the way I work and the way I'm structuring this tutorial is I walk before I run. I just build everything up very slowly. So for this one I'm just going to build, okay, I need a basic block. Let's just get a block that does nothing, and at the end of this kind of cast we'll have one block, it does nothing, but now we have the structure of a block, and then we can fill in details as we go. So to build a block we need to register a block. The function we're going to use is called register block type, and it's from the WordPress blocks, maybe? No. So, I don't remember. Quite alright. We can look, and almost all this code is in, it is blocks, I was right. Haha. Sorry, correct that. If you go to Gutenberg examples, so the repository is WordPress, Gutenberg examples, there's a set of already built, each of these are plugins, I might have mentioned them previously. In the basic, we're going to walk through the same exact one. Inside of there is source and index.js, and we're just going to walk through this file. So the function we're going to use is register block type from the blocks repository, and I'll be building up our block all through this. Alright, I'm going to do a slightly simpler version. This has internationalization, which we can cover at a later time, and it's going to do some styling. I don't want to deal with that. I just want a very basic block. So now I want to call my function register. Oops, I can type in the right area. Register block type. In this part, we want to use the same name that we registered here, and so we can just copy that and put that name there. And then, so this defines a block. So this is our block name, and then it's going to have a set of properties, which I believe looks like an object like that, that we're going to define it. Yep. So we need a title. The title for this block will be QR code block. We need an icon for it. The icon names can be any dash icon. I don't know what those names are, so I do a search, WordPress icon icons, and you'll find a link, and then we'll have all the icons. For QR code, I don't know what I want this to look like. So you can use any of these names here. Let's just do, I should have done this before. Eyeball, looks great. So this is called visibility. So we just use that name. You can use that name in place here. You can also include like an SVG and some other things, but right now you can pick anything off of this list. If you click that item, it shows the name here. Forget the dash part, just use this part, and it'll show up as that icon. I need a category for the object too. I want to call this a widgets. Alright. For the category names, you can get the list of available categories at if you go to developer.wordpress.org, the block editor handbook is here. Inside of the developer documentation, there is a block API reference. Inside of there is your block registration, and this is what we're doing right now. So this explains all the fields that I'm going through. So inside of here is a category, and these are the categories provided by Core, and you can also create your own custom categories. But for now, I'm just going to use widgets because what I'm building is kind of a widget. And then it also defines if there's other additional things. Here's icons and the link to the dash icons too. I should have started here. These extra ones, some of them are optional. Categories required. Icon's nice because you can see the icon. Titles required. So the next two are edit, which is a function, and save. These are the two main properties of the block object. And what they do is edit function gets called when the editor loads and the block gets inserted. Whatever is rendered inside of edit will get inserted into the editor. And then when the post is saved, whatever is rendered inside of this save will get saved to the post content. So edit content here shows up in the editor. Save content gets bundled and saved to post content. And when I say post content, it's the field inside of the WordPress database that contains the post. So it's the actual data of the post. In the old editor, the data in the post was just the HTML. In the Gutenberg editor, in the block editor, it's still just HTML, but it'll be wrapped in a certain amount of markup that can be parsed. And so for this one, we will just return a very basic, we'll just do a div. Hello in editor. And then here we will do hello and save. And I forgot to return for this one. And that is a block. So the block, we're defining a name, give it a title, give it an icon, requires a widget, an edit field, and a save field. This will be displayed when the block gets inserted in the editor. This will be shown when the block gets saved. Alright, let's save it. Let's get our build process going. So local sites. Content, plugins, QR code. And here we're going to use start, and that will automatically build, and then on any changes it will reload that. And so that should be built. And now we can go to our editor. Let's go to a new post, test post, and now we should be able to insert our block. Our block is called a QR code block. There it is with the eyeball icon. If I click that, it says hello in editor. Now if I publish and then I view the post, it should say hello and save. Hello and save. And that is a block. I mentioned the markup. So if we go back to the editor view, we can see the markup in it shows up here. If you go to code editor in the top, and it shows what is actually saved inside of the post content. So this is the post content, and this will get saved to the database, and then that's what gets served up when you view the post. These markup, these comment delimiters, allow the Gutenberg editor to parse the content and figure out which block goes where. So when then it's rendering this page, your editor, it knows that this is a QR code block. And we'll talk about attributes and things in the future. So this gets parsed down to be the attributes, and that gets called, passed to this function, and then whatever this function renders will display in the editor. And then likewise for the save, whatever this save function renders is what will show up here. I think that covers it for today's lesson. We have a basic block. This is probably the most basic block you can have. We're registering it, do the name, title, icon, category, and then the two main functions, edit whatever this returns will show in the editor, and then save whatever save returns will get saved into post content. Thanks so much. The next lesson we'll dive into a little more of we'll dive into doing attributes and actually saving something a little more interesting than static text. So thanks so much.